Today we going to discuss about the reproduction in diversity of living world, one of the attribute of the living world. In previous video, the growth attributes, that is attributes is nothing but the characteristics of the living world. So the growth is seen in the previous video. We see about how the growth takes place in unicellular, multicellular, prokaryotes, eukaryotes. In this, we are going to see about the reproduction. So what is reproduction? So reproduction means producing the young ones of the organism. Think, if there is no reproduction, what will happen? That is the end of the day of the world. Okay, without reproduction there is no life on earth. Okay. So, as in your book they had given fundamental characteristic feature of living organism. So, fundamental means important character of the living organism. So, living organism, we also a living organism. Even the animals also, like plants, animals like that is monkey, that is cow, donkey, and snake and birds. These are also living organism. So they also reproduce. So they also reproduce and produces young ones. Okay, that process is called reproduction. So they are perpetuating. Perpetuating means producing its own species. So first is the fundamental characteristic feature of the living organism. That is important characteristic features of the living organism. Okay. To perpetuates its own species. That is, it is producing its own species. So from our parents, that is the human being, a human being will be going to new human being going to be produced as a baby. Same way from the cow, you going to get a calf. Okay. Same way from the monkey, you will get monkey. From the tiger, you will get a tiger. That is okay, like that. So like that, they are producing the world. That is, producing the world means producing the new offsprings in the world. Okay, the living organisms. Without reproduction, you cannot imagine the life on the earth will be nil. Okay, there is no life on the earth without reproduction. Okay, you are getting my point. So there are two types of reproduction. This you have studied in your previous class, 10th class. Sexual and asexual. Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. We will see it in detail. Asexual reproduction. So the production of progeny possessing features more or less similar to those of the parents. So progeny, the production of progeny, nothing but the young ones. Okay, they possesses the features, that is the same resemblance. Maybe that is the resemblance of the young ones is more or less same as the parents. So they look like parents itself. Okay, so there are so many types are here. So asexual reproduction means without the formation of gametes, male and female gametes. Male gamete is sperm and female gamete is egg. So without the involvement in the formation of gametes, the young ones are produced. That is known as asexual reproduction. So they look like the parents. So they had given some of the types of asexual reproduction. Gonadia, Penicillium, budding, yeast, binary fission, bacteria, fragmentation, Spirogyra, protonema, mosses, regeneration, Planaria. I had given some of the examples. So this is Gonadia. That is, you can see a bunch. Okay, this part is the Gonadia, the purple color part. That is the pink color you are seeing here, no? So this part is the Gonadia, which is the example of Penicillium. The example of Penicillium, the Penicillium, it is a fungus from which penicillin is produced. So you know penicillin is an antibiotic. It is a wonder drug. So that was produced from the Penicillium. And in Gonadia, what happened means the Gonadia at maturity disperse and they will be rest for some times under favorable condition, that is during rainy season. This Gonadia germinate and produces a new Penicillium. Okay, new Penicillium fungus. So this takes place through asexual reproduction. There is no formation of gametes. So the Gonadia, that is the stalk of the, this is called the stalk of the gonadiophore, and this is the Gonadia. So the gonadiophore means stalk of the Gonadia. So next we move on to budding. Yeast. So you know about yeast because it is used in the bakery, that is in bread making, cake making. So yeast is used there. And this yeast can be produced through, that is reproduced through asexual by budding. So this is the yeast and you can see a bud arises here and the nucleus is the nucleus starts developing here also. You can see the nucleus starts developing. So after the complete development, that is you can see a partition here, no? So this partition that separates, that is this bud is fully developed and it going to separate. Okay, the first diagram, it is formation of bud. The second diagram, the bud is fully developed and it going to separate under favorable condition. That is under favorable means which can able to separate from the mother part of the yeast, mother plant, and this bud can develop into a new yeast. Next, fragmentation. Example, Spirogyra. So in previous slides you have you have seen two, that is yeast and the Penicillium. Both belongs to fungi, and this one that is Spirogyra is algae. So algae, that you can see, this is a filament. Okay, filament, and this filament is cut into pieces. Fragmentation means cut into pieces. So it cut into pieces, that is here this one piece and this one piece. Under favorable condition, this cut piece can become into a single filament. This one single filament and this one filament. So they are individually can able to produce a new filament and they can perpetuate, that is they can live a individual and independent life, both the filaments, through fragmentation. Next, regeneration. Example, Planaria. So this is Planaria. Accidentally the Planaria got cut into 3 parts. You can see the 3 partition here, no? Okay, from the 3 parts you can get 3 individual Planaria. Okay, so regeneration means the cut part. Think and for regeneration, another example also we can see, the lizard tail is cut means, the lizard tail is cut means it grows, no? That also that is called also regeneration. Even we cut the plant fully till the bottom of the plant we cut also, it again starts growing into a tree. Okay, that is called regeneration. But so regeneration means that is from the cut parts of an organism, it again develops into an individual organism, then that process is called regeneration. Example, Planaria. Now sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction means in asexual there is no formation of gametes like sperm and ovum. But in sexual reproduction, formation of sperm and ovum, fusion of gametes, male gamete and female gamete, that is sperm and ovum is fused to produce zygote. Okay, zygote. Due to this, it brings the variation from parents to the young ones. So there is a variation, and that process is called recombination. Through recombination the variation occurs. So think in sexual reproduction, gamete formation is there, fusion of gametes is there, and due to this variation occurs. Okay. So next, the next attribute means character of the living world is response to stimuli. So response to stimuli means what? Okay, stimuli means, so if a person, or so you are the students, okay, I will talk. So when your friend pinches you, what response you will give? So he pinch you with a pencil. You will shout ah, like that. That is the response. And stimuli is pinching. Your friend is pinching you not to listen anything about, that is about him who says. So that is that one. And what is the work of the teacher? The teacher asks you to study. So that is the stimulus. Motivating is the stimulus. If you study means you will get more marks. So you get in future you get a nice position. So that is stimulus. Inducing, initiating, stimulus. Like that, in plants and animals also, there are some stimulus. So we can see the stimulus, that is the stimulus can occur through senses also. So when I touch you, that is when I keep an eyes on your body, you will just respond to the chillness, and you will say? You will take it off. So it is very chill, you will take it off. And when you are touching a pan, hot pan, so you will keep your hand there? No. Suddenly you take it off from the pan. Unknowingly you are touching the pan, that is a hot pan. You take it off from that. That is, you take it off your hand. Okay, suddenly. So all organisms are capable of sensing their environmental and response to various physical, chemical and biological stimulus. That is, all organisms has sense organs. That is according to the environment. So in environment, summer season, what we will have? So very hot. We can't able to tolerate the heat. So what we use in houses? We put ACs. Okay, AC for chillness, and we drink ice water, and we will eat more ice creams. And coolness, that is like cool drinks, we will take it off. So what is due? And the same way, during summer season, the human beings, we will talk about human beings. So the sweating is more in the summer season. So that is due to temperature. So that is a physical process. Due to temperature, sweating is more. What's the reason the sweating is more? So the in your body is also getting hot. Okay, getting heat. That is a chemical process. And the biological process through. So the sweating takes place through physical, chemical and biological process. So biological process is sweating takes place. Chemical process, during the sweating, some of the salts are excreting. So all the process are taking place. That is physical, chemical and biological process are taking place due to the environmental condition. Okay. And animal senses their surroundings by sense organs. This is called consciousness. So consciousness means the animal have only 5 sense organs, but we, the human beings, have 6 sense organs. So we will respond what is the problem going to come. So based on that, that we will protect us. But animals, how they know? I will give a best example. That is Thane Puyal, during Thane Puyal, that is Thane cyclone. Okay, Thane cyclone. that time what happens in Pondicherry and Kadalur districts, Kadalur district and Pondicherry, the birds migrated before the Thane cyclone occurs. The birds migrated from one place to another. The people there, they don't know that something bad has going to occur, but the birds had found out through the senses that there is a big problem going, that is the big cyclone has going to attack this particular place. Okay, I am giving this example which is an example for consciousness. Okay, plants also respond to the stimuli. So even plants they are also responding to the stimuli, that is called irritability. The first example is bending of plant towards sunlight. The closure of leaves in the touch-me-not plant to touch. So I had given the picture. This is phototropism, that is the plant is going towards the light. So this experiment you have studied in the lower standards. So a plant is kept in a dark room, there is no light, okay, and the window is open and the light comes through this window. The plant starts to bend as per the light comes. In the direction of light, the plant bends. So the bending of plants towards sunlight, this is one of the response to the light, and this process is called phototropism. Next, closure of leaves in touch-me-not plant to touch. So you have seen touch-me-not plant, no? What happens when you touch? The plants will close. So you can see a hand here, that is a finger touching the leaves of touch-me-not. So before touching, the leaves look like this, and after touching it starts closing. So this is based on the sense of touch, the leaves started closing. So that is also one of the response by plants. These are the two examples. Homeostatis. According to the environment, the body has to adjust. So there is a self-regulation according to the environmental condition, that is external environmental condition. The body has to adjust. The same thing, summer season one type we will follow, and in winter season what will we follow? So we won't put ACs, it is very cold, okay. So it is very cold, and what we use, the rainy season comes means so that is, it is very cold, we won't take ice creams or cool drinks. So according to the environmental condition, we are adapting to the situation. So that means homeostatis means the property of self-regulation and tendency to maintain a steady state within an that is within an external environmental which is liable to change is called homeostatis. So homeostatis, you just think, adjust to the environmental condition. An organism which adjusts to the environmental condition is called homeostatis. Metabolism. So metabolism means what? Means the functions, physiological functions like digestion, circulation, respiration, excretion. These all takes place in the animals. In plants, photosynthesis, respiration, growth, movement. These are the physiological functions. Okay. So that is called metabolism. Okay. The sum of all the chemical reaction takes place in a cell of a living organism is called metabolism. So the physiological functions takes place. That is called metabolism. So it is broadly divided into anabolism and catabolism. So we will see in detail, that is the differences between anabolism and catabolism they will ask. So anabolism is the building up process. So that is cell division, like that. Through cell division it build up. And catabolism is a breaking process. The digestion, you take the food digests. So that process is called, so you are taking large, that is, you are taking the large amount of food, okay, and while entering into your stomach, digestion takes place. In the mouth itself, 25% of digestion is taking place, okay, that is breaking of the larger particles, that is larger molecules into small particles, okay, that is called. So think that anabolism means building up process, catabolism is breaking down process. So smaller particles combine together form larger molecule. So small particles, think we are also single cell in our mother uterus. So the single cell becomes a baby by 10th month, during delivery, by baby it comes as delivery. So that is a building process. Breaking process means larger molecule into smaller units. The best example is the digestion process. Chemical energy is formed and stored. So the chemical energy is formed and stored here. But the stored chemical energy is released. So the chemical energy is formed in anabolism. Okay, the formed in anabolism. But in that is catabolism, the energy is released. So here the synthesis of proteins from amino acids takes place. That is the example. But here the glucose is converted to carbon dioxide and water. This process is respiration. And this is from protein, that is amino acids, proteins are produced, that is protein synthesis. So you know proteins are the body builders. So these proteins are developed from the amino acids. Okay. So building, and think anabolism is a building up process. Catabolism is a breaking up process. So anabolism, small molecules to larger molecule. Here larger molecule to smaller units, that is catabolism. Anabolism, chemical energy is stored. Catabolism, chemical energy is released. Example, protein synthesis, here respiration. So there are levels of organization. You can see the levels of organization and integration in the living organism. Think there is no life. That you can hear the story that before the formation of organism, the world is occupied full of hydrogen gas. The rain was there. That time you can see the non-living matters, mixture, crystals and colloids are the non-living matters which rise up to atoms. Okay, the atoms combines to, that is the atoms forms molecules and compounds. From the molecules and compounds, the organism, that is bacteria, virus like organism, unicellular organisms are formed. From that living cells are arised. From the living cells, the group of cells forms the tissue. The tissue forms the organ forms the organ system. The organ system forms the individual organism. The individual organism produces population, that is more in number, and from more in number, that is a single group forms, the single person forms a group of persons, that is called population. In the population you can divide community basis, that is male and female, like that. Okay, community basis or sex basis, or by the place where you have occupied, where you have come. So based on the name of the place also you can divide. And from the community, ecosystem have evolved. From the ecosystem, biosphere had evolved. Biosphere means living sphere. So living things are living in the world. Nothing, biosphere is nothing but the living world. So this forms the non-living to living cells. So you can see the first, from non-living things to living cells to individual organism. Individual organism leads to ecosystem. So this is the levels of organization and integrity in living organisms. Okay. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any doubts, post your doubts in the comment box. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up, share and subscribe to Science Easy Tech channel.